Calling to order the Cuyahoga County Council regular meeting for Tuesday, March the 14th, 2017. Clerk, please call the roll.
Calling the roll, Mr. Tuma.
Here.
Mr. Gallagher.
Here.
Mr. Schrein.
Here.
Ms. Conwell. Ms. Conwell is absent. Mr. Jones.
Here.
Ms. Brown.
Here.
Mr. Hairston. Ms. Simon.
Here.
Ms. Baker.
Here.
Mr. Miller.
Here.
And Council President Brady.
Here.
There is a quorum.
Thank you. Pledge of allegiance. I have no silent meditation under 4. Any public comments related to the agenda?
Yes, Council President Brady. First is Mr. Mike Belkin.
Okay.
Thank you. I'm not so good with technology, but I know how to set them up. I'm the Senior Vice President of Live Nation in Cleveland, Ohio. We operate around the world. We operate concerts, we manage artists, we produce festivals, including Lollapalooza, Bonnaroo. We own and operate different buildings, and so I'm here just to give you a little background on my opinion of what I think is important for our community, and how we can continue the momentum that we've created here in the last few years. Live Nation in Cleveland in the last year promoted about 350 concerts in this market alone. That includes House of Blues, the Hard Rock Roxino, Jacobs Pavilion, Blossom, most of the shows at Quicken Loans Arena, the Wolstein Center, things in Akron, E.J. Thomas in the Civic. So we are very, very active in the community, know the buildings intimately. Now, with regard to what I consider our competition for arenas, there's a number of different places. Detroit in particular is building a new arena. It's going to open up in the fall, and it's going to be very, very special. Louisville, which I also book, has a new arena opened up about 6 or 7 years ago. The Pittsburgh Arena, Consol Energy Center, now PP&G, opened up 6 or 7 years ago, and it's a very special place. Columbus has 2 arenas, one for the Blue Jackets, one for Ohio State University, and I don't know that either one is exceptional with aesthetics with regard to the other 2 arenas that I mentioned, but the fact that there's 2 of them gives them an advantage because it gives them twice the available days and twice the number of opportunities to present a show. And in addition, there's nice arenas in Dayton. There's one in Lexington. The one in Cincinnati is quite a bit older, 40-some years, and I heard somebody mention it earlier with regard to the RNC. And it's old and it's tired, and probably a large part of the reason that it doesn't get a lot of the shows that Louisville and Pittsburgh and Cleveland and Columbus get. There's a number of factors that come into what artist comes to a particular city, and it could be a history in a particular market. It could be radio airplay. It could be available dates, and a large portion is also the amenities of a certain arena. And if you're tired, if the staff doesn't care, if it's in a remote location, if the people don't like it because they can't get food, the concourses are small, they can't find anywhere to park, whatever the reason is, it's a serious detriment for that particular venue. And it's important for us to be able to present our city in a first-class light. That was quick. So the bottom line is, it's important for me to be able to present the shows how I'd like to present them, and it's important for the community who has all this momentum from the Indians, the Cavaliers, the RNC. We promoted 4 arena shows in the last week, from Eric Church to Maroon 5 to Ariana Grande. It kind of is a rising tide lifts all boats. It helps the hotels, it helps the parking lots, it helps the restaurants. And so I'm obviously a pretty big proponent of whatever we can do to improve our building.
Next is Adele Eisner.
Hi, I'm Adele Eisner. I live in Shaker Heights, Ohio. I have been watching the Board of Elections. I'm a strong election integrity advocate. I've been watching the Board of Elections since 2004. Have actually observed most of the general elections and the primaries. The last time I was at the commissioners in the old building regarding the Diebold machines, trying to, if you remember the old Diebold touchscreens, trying to convince them not to sink any more millions into the Diebold machines, trying to convince the county commissioners because I didn't feel I could be heard at the Board of Elections. It was just kind of, the train was rolling. I'm here again. I was here also when this council, not in this building, this beautiful building, but when the council approved standing for distributing the absentee applications. And I thought that was a wonderful, wonderful move, and I was congratulating. I'm here today about item 4 under the resolutions for first reading about the memorandum of understanding for the electronic poll books. I know that I'm going to get more things coming down on my head back at the Board of Elections because I'm here. I feel so strongly that the electronic poll books, even though they seem very simple, I believe that the amount of information that's being transferred, it's not all public information. Pictures of our signatures are being transmitted. The amount of information that will not be open to everyone. It will be open to the people at the Board of Elections. I am not accusing anybody of anything, but the citizens have not even been able to see what all the reports are that these electronic poll books are generating from the command center, wherever that's going to be. We don't even know who will have access to that. In fact, Mr. Frost on our board did say, on the Board of Elections board did say that he considered a data breach, which is one of the big things that concerns me. He considers it a real data breach if someone would see the information about the time, the time, date, well, obviously the date, the name of the voter, all the information about each voter and when they voted is going to be transmitted back to this command center. These are things that can, in summary, these are things that can sway elections from the inside. These are things that can turn elections from a free choice right to cast a ballot to surveilling voters. It's all very, very dangerous. I am here because I know the contract is going to come up before you folks. I know there's supposed to be a technical advisory committee meeting, which I didn't see on your calendar yet. I was let known it was probably on the 16th. I have no information about that. Mr. Mio, your own CIO or your CISO, your own security officer, did say that there were certain qualifications that these electronic poll books have to meet. He said in the meeting minutes of May 11th of 2016 that these poll books, after they were selected, would need to go through more security testing. I know that you'll hear from the Board of Elections. We've been through 17 months of, hard work. 17 months of work does not mean that the things were covered correctly. Public information has been withheld, or I've been given the runaround. And I want to be able to see the contract, which is going to be the next thing that comes before you. I need to know what kinds of things come out of the technical advisory committee, such as the security policy. Citizens have a right to know about, other than a general statement, well, of course, if there's a breach, if there's a breach of this transmittal, and we have a right to know what the policy is of the county. I don't understand, to tell you the truth, since it's very different than our ES&S contract with our voting machines, how, if there's something that's going wrong at the Board of Elections, how that's going to be dealt with, since you guys are going to sign the contract. To me, for a $2 million expenditure and what the possibilities can be, what can happen to citizens' elections. They're not politicians' elections. They're citizens' elections. And what can happen is very dangerous. So if I could, someone could give me a kind of a direction as to where I know I can see the contract, other citizens can see the contract before you folks sign it. There are some very important issues to be dealt with here. And it's all like as much as I've tried, it's all like in a black hole to me. So thank you.
Thank you very much.
No one else is signed in at this time.
Okay. All right. I'd like to have a motion to approve the minutes for February the 28th, 2017 Committee of the Whole and the regular meeting on the same date.
So moved.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. The minutes have been approved. There is no announcement by the council president. Is there a message from the county executive?
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. As you well know, this has been a very busy time for both council and the administration, and it's going to continue to be busy for at least a while. I'd like to welcome all of our friends who are here from Metro tonight. I see many of you here. We have reached an excellent partnership with Metro on their transformation plan. I'm very excited about it, and I'll be happy to speak at more length with all of you on details as we get to an appropriate time. So thank you very much.
Thank you. First of all, I missed a couple of things. We have a Councilwoman Yvonne Conwell is out of town today, and so I'd like to move to excuse her absence.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The Councilwoman's absence is excused. She's in a blizzard in Washington, D.C. We also have some visitors today, which is always exciting, from Angola, and I'm trying to get this right, the island of São Tomé and Príncipe, both known to most of us as former Portuguese colonies, but that's a long time ago, 40 years, I believe, or so. So welcome. If you would stand up, and I'd like to thank you for coming. Good to see you in Cleveland. Legislation introduced by the council, consideration of a resolution of council for first reading referral to committee.
Resolution number 2000, excuse me, resolution number 2017-0044, appointing F. Allen Bozeman to serve on the Cuyahoga County Personnel Review Commission for the term 3/8/2017 through 3/7/2023.
Referred to Human Resources.
Resolution number 2017-0045, adopting the amended Cuyahoga County Personnel Review Commission administrative rules as the administrative rules for the Cuyahoga County Personnel Review Commission to be codified in the Cuyahoga County Administrative Code.
Also to HR.
And resolution number 2017-0046, making an award to College Now Greater Cleveland in the amount of $500,000 from the Cuyahoga County Educational Assistance Fund for Component 2 of the Cuyahoga County Educational Assistance Program for the period ending 6/30/2021.
Go to education.
Mr. President,
Yes, Councilman.
if my name could be added as a sponsor on this.
So is my, Mr. Chairman.
That Councilman Miller and Councilman Harrison and Councilwoman Brown and Councilman Jones to that legislation. Legislation introduced by the executive. A consideration of a resolution for first reading adoption under suspension of the rules. Could I have a motion to suspend the rules?
Mr. President, I move to suspend the rules.
Second.
Seconded, any discussion? All those in favor say aye. All those opposed, the ayes have it, the rules are suspended.
Resolution number 2017-0047, amending the 2016-2017 biennial operating budget for 2017 by providing for additional fiscal appropriations from the general fund and other funding sources for appropriation transfers between budget accounts and for cash transfers between budgetary funds in order to meet the budgetary needs of various county departments, offices, and agencies.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Mr. President. And my colleagues, this is the standard bi-monthly fiscal resolution. We forward questions to Budget and Management, which were answered to our satisfaction. The answers are provided on your desk. Most of the changes are routine adjustments to prepare grants for closure. There is also $170,000 in demolition funds for Shaker Heights. I ask for your approval.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, the ayes have it, the resolution is adopted. Consideration of resolutions for first reading and referral to committee.
Resolution number 2017-0048, authorizing a revenue-generating agreement with T&G Flying Club in the amount not to exceed $75,984 for lease of office space and aircraft tie-down fees located at the Cuyahoga County Airport Safety Building, Area B, Suites G through L, 26300, Curtis Wright Parkway, Highland Heights, for the period 1/1/2017 through 12/31/2019.
That will be referred to Public Works.
Resolution number 2017-0049, authorizing an amendment to contract number CE 1500375 with Turner Ozan Joint Venture for Design Builder Services for the Huntington Park Garage Rehabilitation Project for the period 12/7/2015 through 12/31/2017 to change the scope of services and the terms effective 3/28/2017 and to establish a guaranteed maximum price in the amount not to exceed $25,211,693.
Also be referred to Public Works.
Resolution number 2017-0050, making an award on requisition number 36488 to Viveri in the amount not to exceed $606,950 for the wellness program for county employees for the period 4/1/2017 through 3/31/2020.
And this will be referred to Human Resources.
Resolution number 2017-0051, authorizing the county executive on behalf of the county to endorse the memorandum of understanding among County of Cuyahoga, Cuyahoga County Board of Elections, and Ohio Department of Administrative Services in connection with the use of funding for the purchase of electronic poll books and other necessary equipment.
And this will be referred to Finance.
Resolution number 2017-0052, authorizing the Title 4D cooperative agreements with various providers in a total amount not to exceed $11,696,886.76 for child support services for the period 1/1/2017 through 12/31/2017.
This will be referred to Health and Human Services.
Resolution number 2017-0053, authorizing Title 4D cooperative agreements with various providers in the total amount not to exceed $103,746.55 for child support services for the period 1/1/2017 through 12/31/2017.
This will also be referred to Health and Human Services.
Resolution number 2017-0054, authorizing an amendment to contract number CE 1600248 for Starting Point for the Out-of-School Time Program for the period 10/1/2016 through 1/31/2017 to extend the time period to 12/31/2017 and for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $1,400,000.
This will be referred to Education.
And before I read the next item, Council President Brady, Council members Miller, Hairston, Gallagher, Simon, Jones, and Tuma have all asked to be added as additional sponsors to
All
this
right,
item.
and as this process moves along, if any other members would be inclined to want to co-sponsor the bill, there's plenty of time to do that.
Resolution number 2017-0055, authorizing the county executive to obtain and/or pledge one or more letters of credit from a bank or banks related to and in support of the Metro Health Systems Campus Transformation Project.
This will be referred to the Committee of the Whole, and we're going to have a presentation about the whole project. We're hoping to have it in about 3 weeks from now in April. This is almost entirely self-financed by Metro Hospital. The county has been able to help in a significant way, but I think it would be important for the council to understand what it is we're helping in a significant way. So this is important legislation, and we're looking forward to those discussions. Committee reports and consideration of resolutions for second reading.
Resolution number 2017-0030, authorizing the issuance and sale of one or more series of county revenue bonds in an aggregate principal amount that will generate net proceeds of $140 million for the purpose of paying or reimbursing the cost of reconstructing, refurbishing, renovating, upgrading, improving, and equipping Quicken Loans Arena.
This item will move to the March 28, 2017 council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption.
Resolution number 2017-0039, making awards to various municipalities, each in the amount not to exceed $150,000 for various municipal grant projects for the 2017 Community Development Block Grant Municipal Grant Program for the period 4/1/2017 through 12/31/2017.
And this money for neighborhoods throughout Cuyahoga County, the item will move to the March 28th council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption as well.
Resolution number 2017-0040, making awards to various municipalities and nonprofit organizations in the total amount of $998,966 for various projects in connection with the 2017 Community Development Supplemental Grant Program for the period 4/1/2017 through 12/31/2017.
And this is our first round of so-called casino money, about $1 million. And this is the famous Greenspan-Harrison legislation, and the item will move to the March 28, 2017 council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption.
Resolution number 2017-0042, authorizing amendments to agreements and contracts with various providers for neighborhood collaborative services for the Family to Family Neighborhood System of Care Program for the period 4/1/2014 through 3/31/2017, to extend the time period to 3/31/2018, and for additional funds.
This item will also move to the March 28, 2017 council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption. Committee reports and consideration of resolutions for second reading adoption under suspension of the rules. Could I have a motion to suspend the rules?
Mr. President, I move to suspend the rules.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, the ayes have it. The motion to suspend the rules is adopted.
Resolution number 2017-0036, confirming the county executive's reappointment of Carol Dayton to serve on the Western Reserve Area Agency on Aging Board of Trustees for the term 1/1/2017 through 12/31/2019.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Councilwoman?
Yes. Just want to let the council know that the candidate came before the Human Resources Appointment and Equity Committee, and we respectfully request your support.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, the ayes have it. The resolution is adopted.
Resolution number 2017-0037, authorizing an amendment to contract number CE 0600382 with K&Z Mutual Realty as successor in interest to Mutual Investment Properties for lease of office space located at 9830 Lorraine Avenue, Cleveland, for the period 10/1/2006 through 9/30/2016, to extend the time period to 9/30/2021, and for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $2,402,495.
Moved to adopt. Second. Seconded. Councilman?
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President. On March 8th, 2017, John Myers of Public Works Department came before the Public Works Procurement and Contracting Committee. This is a automatic 5-year renewal. The building's in good condition. There are some plans for future renovation, and we would request that we move forward with this and have your support for second reading suspension.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. The resolution is adopted.
Resolution number 2017-0038, authorizing an agreement with the Ohio Department of Administrative Services in the amount not to exceed $1,750,000 for data center co-location services for the period 1/1/2017 through 12/31/2021.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Mr. President, my colleagues, this resolution extends our agreement with the state of Ohio for co-location of our data center for 5 years through the end of 2021. Michael Young from IT testified at Finance and Budgeting Committee that the data center co-location program has been implemented smoothly, on time, and within budget, and that there have been no operational problems. The resolution was unanimously recommended by the committee, and I ask for your support.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? The ayes have it. The resolution is adopted.
Resolution number 2017-0041, authorizing various revenue-generating agreements with Council for Economic Opportunities in Greater Cleveland for lease of space at various Cuyahoga County Board of Developmental Disability Centers for operation of Head Start and preschool programs for the period 2/1/2017 through 1/31/2020.
Second.
Mr. President, we heard this matter in committee last week, and essentially what the situation is that the county owns the premises, the title to the property. However, Board of Developmental Disabilities handles the programs there and occupies a space. This will be a lease that we approved out of committee to allow for Head Start programs to continue in 2 locations. And I ask for your approval.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. The resolution is adopted.
Resolution number 2017-0043, making an award on requisition number 38042 to Lutheran Metropolitan Ministry in the amount not to exceed $553,000 for adult guardianship services for the period 1/1/2017 through 12/31/2017. Additionally, Councilman Harrison is asked to be a sponsor.
Move to adopt.
Second.
I know the chairman is not here.
Yes. Mr. President, representatives came before the Health and Human Services Committee on March 8th, explaining the necessity of moving forward with this contract, this agreement. It's actually dated from January 1st, 2017, hence the necessity to move it under a suspension of the rules. And I'd ask for my colleagues' support on this.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. The resolution is adopted. Consideration of resolutions for third reading adoption.
Resolution number 2017-0023, confirming the county executive's appointment of the Honorable Anthony J. DeSico to serve on the Cuyahoga County Planning Commission, representing the Hillcrest region for the term 1/1/2017 through 12/31/2019.
Move to adopt. Mr. Chair, I believe this gentleman came before the council with with a lot of experience to replace the mayor of Beechwood, who was unable to complete his term. So Mr. DeSico brings a lot of knowledge and, again, a great wealth of experience, and I respectfully request my colleagues' support to adopt this resolution.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. The resolution is adopted.
Resolution number 2017-0025, confirming the county executive's reappointment of various individuals to serve on the Cuyahoga Community College Board of Trustees for various terms.
Move to adopt. Mr. Chair, with the recommended 2 candidates for the Cuyahoga Community College Board of Trustees, they came highly recommended by Claire Rosacco, who is in the audience today, and they both represented themselves well and said that they desire to continue to serve on this board. So again, I respectfully request the support of my colleagues.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. The resolution is adopted. Are there any committee reports?
Yes. Mr. President, my colleagues, I would announce that the Finance and Budgeting Committee will meet at its regularly scheduled time on Monday, March 20th at 1 p.m. to hear the legislation regarding the electronic poll books that was introduced and that we also heard public comment on earlier today.
Go ahead. Okay.
Mr. President, I'd also like to announce that Public Works Procurement and Contracting Committee will be meeting on March 22nd at its regular scheduled time as well, 10 a.m.
The Health and, the Human Resource Appointment and Equities Committee meeting will be held on the 21st of March at its regularly scheduled time of 10 a.m. for the items referred to today.
Education, Environment, Sustainability is meeting Wednesday, regular time, 3 o'clock on the 22nd Wednesday, to hear the matter before us and a presentation on the Educational Assistance Program regarding College Now.
And Council Operations and Intergovernmental Relations Committee will meet this coming Tuesday, March 21st, to hear a presentation from our Inspector General.
All right.
And the time will be 3 p.m.
3 p.m.
All right. Is there any other miscellaneous business for the council? Yes. Council.
I'd just like to mention the mighty Lakewood St. Edward High School yet again won a state championship in wrestling, takes us over 60 banners in the gymnasium. All of you that want to see what a winner looks like, stop on by Detroit Avenue in Lakewood. It may rub off. You never know, you Shaker Heights fellas. And Mr. Executive, I was wondering, is there any special dispensation on time for the employees on Friday, the national holiday of St. Patrick's Day? Thank you, sir.
Okay. Any public comment unrelated to the agenda this evening?
Yes, Council President Brady. First is Mr. Rico Dancy.
Good afternoon. Good evening. I have a concern on that project, the $140 million project. I have a concern. I mean with the Qs winning, I mean with the Cavs winning, and I mean with the Browns winning. I'm not in with the project. We could put that money in our neighborhoods. Our children get murdered. Our kids get killed. That's where we could spend the $140 million project on. Just like that 14-year-old got murdered on 93rd. We could put that in the abandoned houses, tear down these abandoned houses, fix up our streets, fix up our neighborhoods. That's what I'm concerned about. When I meet with my people, they are calling me, Mr. Day, I'm concerned about that, as I am too. Another concern I am worried about. I went past Reverend Peter's house Saturday. Landlord sent police to our house. Mail been taken. I saw it with my own two eyes, okay? It's not that he say, she say. I saw it with my own two eyes. So we have a problem with landlords who deal with Eaton Section 8, sending Cleveland police and any of his partners to her house. Her mailbox been broken in. Okay? We want to see what can we do on behalf of her, okay? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Is there any other public comment?
Yes.
And is
Council
it
President.
unrelated to the agenda?
Yes.
Okay.
Ms. Sabrina Otis.
Good evening, everybody. I just simply want to have it addressed that public comments or residents of the county should be able to come to Health and Human Service committees. I don't know who oversees it currently, but there's some things that need to be done that aren't being addressed with the agency that oversees child support and people being able to get their funding. I have a court order, and somehow, I said this like a year ago to you all, there's a a misprint or an error, or somebody can't read what an order says. It's a court order. It's very precise. If the county is able to collect the money, then the family should be able to get the money. And there shouldn't be any haggling about it. So that's what I would like, if a citizen's allowed to come to a committee meeting regarding Health and Human Services.
All of our meetings are open to the public, and the Health and Human Service Committee is chaired by Councilwoman Yvonne Conwell. But you might want to talk to somebody on our staff about the issues.
I've written, and they haven't been addressed.
Okay. All right. Well, we hear you, and you're welcome to come to our committee hearings. And
Thank
nice
you,
to meet
guys.
Next is Ms. Rosie Palfy.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I don't really have too much prepared. My name is Rosie Palfy, and I'm a homeless advocate. I've been a member of the Homeless Congress since 2008, and I'm here to discuss the women's shelter. I understand a recommendation has been made, excuse me, and the recommendation from the procurement committee was for Frontline to keep the contract. I missed the Homeless Congress meeting last week, but I did get copies of what was passed out, and Ruth Gillette handed out a very thoughtful explanation of what was part of the RFP process. How were things being graded? Now, it explained all that, and it said how you get 25 points for this, 25 for that. And it said that there was a big disparity between the scores from the two agencies that applied. So I feel like these women deserve an explanation. They need to know why wasn't Westside Catholic's proposal accepted. Maybe they came in and said it would cost too much to run the shelter. I mean, there's a lot of legitimate reasons of why their contract wasn't picked, but I think the women deserve an explanation. For years, I've been hearing if somebody else wants to run the shelter, they can have at it. And here, somebody else stepped up and was willing to run the shelter, and yet they weren't given the opportunity. I think that there was some politics involved as to why they weren't picked, because somebody else was involved with that proposal that isn't easy to work with. But my question is, I don't care who runs that shelter as long as they do a good job. So what I want to know, and these women want to know, is what's going to change? How is this going to be any different than it's been, for the last, 10 years or whatever? I went to a meeting last week it was about strategies for housing single adult homeless people. And somebody was there from Frontline, and when we were talking about staffing, I had to pick my jaw up off the ground. I could not believe they only had 3 case managers there for 215 women until the county stepped up and gave them more money, thank you very much, so that they were able to get 2 more caseworkers there. But can you understand that if you have 5 caseworkers for 200 people, it's going to be really hard to come up with housing plans. So I don't think that anybody could do a good job running that shelter if they didn't have the tools and the staff to do it. So I just want to make sure that there's going to continue to be a conversation about how we can fix this, because I'm sure that you guys are getting sick and tired of having people come to the Health and Human Services meetings and these meetings to complain. So, I was expecting if Frontline got to keep that contract, that they would have come up with like some great idea of what could change. I haven't seen the proposal, so I don't know, but I just wanted to tell you that I think the women deserve an explanation. I appreciate what Ruth Gillette put together to explain how the scoring worked, But I think that this needs to be transparent, and the women need to know what the scores were and why they were scored the way that they were. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next is Mr. Nathan Manthe.
How did this happen? How did this happen? Oh, this tagged on.
Hello, County Council. Recently, I actually attended the Homeless Congress meeting where Ruth Gillette voiced and fielded questions over why Frontline Services was appointed the recommendation to continue the contract at Norma Herr Women's Center. And the women did have an opportunity to ask quite a lot of questions about how were they graded above the proposal when Westside Catholic's bid was for a smaller monetary amount. They wanted to know why were women not allowed to be on the board or to even talk to the board about Frontline's performance when they were rating the safety of the shelter, and basically why this process was so exclusionary of them. And the answer that was given was it's just the county's process, and it is the only way that any kind of bidding for contracts is oversaw and decided on. And I wanted to know if the county has ever considered changing its process, its singular process for issues dealing with human resources and human services, because it seems bizarre to me that when people have to delegate and determine who's going to take care of homeless women, that the same process for filling in a pothole and what construction company to contract for that is used. When you're doing a project with homeless people, with people in general, I think that it's important that part of that process is that there needs to be some correspondence with the people you're giving the service to. I understand they did not have access to the grievance reports. They didn't know that public safety was called over 1,000 times in 2016 to the Norma Herr Women's Shelter, which seems like it should exclude Frontline Services, seeing as one of the criteria was running a safe shelter of at least 150 beds. So that is my question or recommendation to County Council, is that we consider an alternative procedure when we're dealing with methods or with dealing with contracts that involve human services. That's all.
Thank you very much.
And the last person to speak is Ms. Liu.
Hi.
Good evening, everybody. Nice to be alive to see all of you again. Just fill out a little bit numbers, the details. So, well, you guys always are good, very good asking good questions about that to make sure you get the bottom of it. So let's get the bottom of this one. From a city, this gentleman's name is Martin L. Flask. He actually responded a request at the address 2227 Payne Avenue, which is that shelter, in 2016. Total cost, they responded $1,336. If you break it down, 690 of them, EMS. Remember the dinner I could afford to offer you? Then we have a fire, 237. And the police, 409. Actually, it has been increasing. This is only the number for 2016. If Frontline keeps doing that, since they know nobody likes the way they handle their staff. So in this proposal, Ms. Pelfrey probably didn't know, they actually include a new partner, Lutheran Metropolitan Ministry, to help them out to do almost everything for the coming contract period. However, this organization has a very good policy, no discrimination, to encourage all the people having the second chance, including sex offenders. Now, you will have sex offenders as either their regular worker or stipend workers, and they are coming to a women's shelter, which is supposed to protect the women from long-term abuse, sexual assault, all those kind of things, domestic violence, even human trafficking. They didn't see that in the proposal, did they? No, they didn't. So for this committee, only read the proposal to decide who should come to take the contract for a new term. Unfortunately, it becomes biased. And also last year, Mr. Strong had a misunderstanding. He thought one nonprofit organization having problem with another nonprofit organization staffing problem. Sorry, it was not this nonprofit organization. It was all the individuals, including myself, who used to stay in this shelter or who is currently staying in this shelter. Also, please include all the people coming to the shelter in the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Liu. Anybody else?
No one else is signed in, Council President.
Okay. Would like to acknowledge the fact that Malcolm Brutus, the CEO of Metropolitan Metro Hospital, or the County Hospital, or the Old City Hospital, is with us today. And just want to congratulate him on all of his hard work over all these several years, trying to move the ball forward, and we're glad to have you here this evening. Any other comments? Hearing none, this council meeting is adjourned.